But the Kenny Dillingham to Michigan, will he or won't he saga continues. And I tell you what, Dillingham is playing both sides of this brilliantly. Brilliantly. It's not fun if you're an Arizona State fan. It's even a bit of a tease if you're a Michigan fan. But this is exactly what Kenny Dillingham should be doing to maximize his situation and the situation of everybody around him. So the Michigan pursuit, Sharon Moore, all of that happens, right? Immediately, folks like Josh Pate started connecting Kenny Dillingham to Michigan, almost trying to will that to happen, saying, hey, this is a guy I would go after. Big 12 fans, somewhat sensitive to that when essentially that's what Josh Pate did, was will Matt Campbell to Penn State. Now it feels like, hey, a lot of people are trying to will Kenny Dillingham to Michigan. Dillingham gave some comments at first when he shows up at bowl practice media availability that were once again very glowing about everything going on in Tempe and in the Phoenix area, which he has been very steadfast and committed to making comments like that. But he also didn't outright deny it. He also let the cat out of the bag that, like, hey, my agent has been working on a possible extension with Arizona State for a little while here, but it's not getting to my desk at this point. I don't mess with that. So it left us all kind of in limbo. I called it last time the Rorschach test. What do you want to see in it? The ink blots. Michigan fans see, hey, that's a guy who could absolutely be leaving. He also teared up when he was talking about the area, right? Michigan fans say, hey, that's a guy that's tearing up because he knows he's about to leave. Arizona State fans say, hey, that's a guy who's tearing up because he loves this place. He's obviously not leaving. Well, I think now, just judging by the social media temperature on this, I think after this is extended now into Thursday with still no denial from Dillingham, despite the fact that he's been asked about it more, I think Arizona State fans are on edge, and rightfully so. I think they probably should be. I'm not predicting that Dillingham leaves, but I think this is pretty spot on to what I was seeing in it on Sunday, which is that this is a guy who's not saying no to that opportunity, knows that it's out there, and is keeping his options open, while at the same time trying to pull as much as he can out of Arizona State as possible. And that's not a selfish thing, by the way. That's a, what can I get in terms of NIL support, assistant coach, staffing money available? Like, how can I make this program as good as possible? So here's the latest thing that Kenny Dillingham had to say. I will play you this from Twitter. And remember, it's important here, the context. He's asked a question about, can you put the fans at ease here, right? Like, he's given the opportunity to put the fans.
With me. I think my job is to try to do whatever I can for the people that are with me, right? The people that are in the foxhole, the coaches that are in the foxhole with me, is I got to do whatever I can to fight for those people, for my family, for everything from that perspective. And kind of, and I love it here. I've said that since day one. That's absolutely never changing. Absolutely never changing. So yeah, that piece is never changing.
Okay. Again, important to not just hear the words there, but the context of the question being like, hey man, people are worried about you leaving. What do you have to say to that? And he says, well, my job is to fight for everybody that's in the foxhole with me. Fight for those around me who are doing this thing with me. AKA, you take that as, I'm using this for leverage right now. I'm not tipping my hand as to whether or not I'd leave, but I'm leaving the option open right now so that Arizona State can step up its game and give me every last thing that I want and or need to make this program what I think it should be. And that, much as I said, hey, Texas Tech going after Brendan Sorsby is exactly what Texas Tech should be doing. I mean, this is exactly what Kenny Dillingham should be doing. I know that it's not really fun for Arizona State fans right now, but this is totally how he should be handling it. Keep that door cracked open enough. But it is not easy to do that either. Kenny Dillingham's 35, a year younger than me. I give credit to him for realizing this, taking advantage of the leverage that he has, and doing it in a way that's not off-putting. If you're an Arizona State fan, I'm sure it's like nerve-wracking, but it's not off-putting. He continues to just effusively praise the area and what he's got and say, hey, but like, I'm going to fight for what we need here. And I'm also not going to just come out and say, no reason to worry at all. You've lost all leverage at that point if you do that. You're trying to get money out of Arizona State. And again, not just money for his own contract. I'm sure he cares way more about NIL and assistant salary pool in today's day and age. Like, he's had some assistants that have gotten a ton of national recognition over this 2-year run, right? Where they've had all this success. You're going to have to try and keep guys. You're going to have to try and keep guys on your roster. They just lost Sam Leavitt, right? Like, all of this is happening in the shadow of Sam Leavitt going to the portal and all the reporting that surrounds that right now. Like, Dillingham gets it. And none of this should surprise you. Dillingham understands how to operate and how to move in this new world. He's the guy that's out there. There's a tweet about Sam Leavitt going to the portal, and Kenny Dillingham is quote tweeting it and saying, hey, totally change this program around, put his name on the map. Somebody is getting a great player and a great human. I mean, I know a lot of people hate that. And even I myself am like, man, that's got to be tough to like have the stomach to do that. But that's what you need to do in this day and age. Like, other players see that, like, hey, man, that's a guy that's going to support his dudes. He's not going to be overbearing or too old school about this. He understands the game and how it's working these days. But what did I just say? He understands the game and how it's working these days. He needs as much NIL as possible. He needs as much as he can have help-wise on his staff, in terms of elite staff, to get this thing going the way that he wants it to. He knows he's got to use his leverage right now in this situation. And what I would say for Arizona State fans is same message that I had for BYU fans when Sitake was in the middle of this. Remember, I just said, hey, we're doing this show thing again where it's like, oh, Big 12 coach flirting with a major job. Well, I told BYU fans this could be a bad week. Yes, you might lose Kalani Sitake, but it could be the greatest thing that ever happened to BYU football, because Sitake will not only just get a raise for himself, but he'll ensure much more NIL commitment to get that roster where it needs to be. After Sitake has now had to see Texas Tech up close and personal, a roster that, I think was over twice as expensive as his, and what that looks like. So he's going to secure more financial commitment toward the program for assistance and for NIL, and that will force BYU to level up its game, which is going to make your program better, and you keep the coach. That possibility is there for Arizona State. I mean, that's what you're pulling for right now. I see all the social media commentary from ASU fans like talking to, hey, Michael Crow, university president, make sure you step up here. I mean, Graham Rossini, athletic director, make sure you step up here. Like, we've got to keep this guy around. This is our dude. Give the program the resources that it deserves and needs with a leader of this caliber. That's what you're going to have if this works out, Arizona State fans. So I'm not saying I want you to live through all this stress right now, but this could be a monster thing for the future of your program. The other thing that is, I don't know, I'd be curious how much this is factoring into Kenny Dillingham's decision right now, or what's going to be on his mind, is like, the roster has been in some ways gutted already for next year, and these are good problems to have. Sam Leavitt has turned into one of, if not the most coveted quarterback in the portal. Oregon, LSU, and Indiana after him right now. Then a bunch of guys going to the draft. Raleek Brown going to the draft. Had a great season at running back. He is headed to the NFL draft. Keith Abney, first team All-Big 12 corner, going to the draft. There was another safety I saw, I believe, today, going to the draft. So a bunch of talent from this team is going to be gone. Does that factor into Kenny Dillingham's decision? Like, hey, this is looking like now it's going to be a bit of a rebuild. If you are thinking about, and this is probably another reason he's not shutting anything down right now, you can, if you are efficient in the portal, you could rebuild this thing very quickly. I mean, he found Sam Leavitt, who was not, remember, Jaden Rashada was the highly regarded quarterback that was there, and Sam Leavitt beat him out. If you can go scout the portal well and find the next Sam Leavitt, maybe it doesn't matter. But that does seem, it seems like, the odds would be long to do that. So you might be looking at kind of a rebuild next year. Then your stock's not going to be as high after next season. So if you don't go take this Michigan job right now, how long does it take to get back to that point? When right now you're sitting at a place where you got all the leverage, your stock is really high because you went to the playoff last year, and despite a bunch of injuries this year, you still beat Texas Tech and then finished 8-4. Like, everybody loves you. National media is trying to will you to this big job. I mean, this is definitely your chance. I'm not sure it's going to be better after next year based on what the roster is looking like right now. So that also creates very high risk, high reward situation again for ASU fans, man. This, we'll see who you'd hire if Dillingham were to leave, but the roster would look massively different if Dillingham leaves. I mean, it does seem like there's a potentially huge swing here for what that Arizona State team would look like next year, based on what's going to happen. And a lot of that is just simply a coaching change period, right? Like the way it goes these days, you change coaches. I mean, it just feels like an inevitability. Basically, you're going to lose like 50% of the roster and have to just go portal crazy for a year at least, and hope that pays off for you.